I think we played what we believe is a very good team in South Carolina. I think they're nationally right now. I think they could be much better than that as the season winds up going on. I don't know if they're one of the top 5 teams in the country, but I think they're pretty good. I think we held our own with regards to special teams, which I was pleased with. We did a reasonable job of moving the ball, which I was pleased with. From a defensive perspective, we had too many individual mistakes. They were able to make some big plays just athletically that we weren't able to make, and at the end of the day, they wound up beating us. But I was pleased with the guys' overall effort. With regards to we've got UAB coming up now. I think our guys are pretty healthy. They're a good team. They beat us a year ago. They've got a lot of guys coming back from last year. I think they're effective and consistent in terms of the way they move the ball. They're able to mix up the run and the pass. They're pretty good with the play action. They do a pretty good job picking up pressure. From a defensive perspective, I think they do a good job of disguising their coverages, disguising when they're coming or where they're not. And I think across the board, they're well coached with regard to special teams. So we know we've got our work cut out for us. We're going to be playing at home. Hey, we got to be ready to go. And by game day, we will be.
Thank you, Coach. Our first questions come from Kyle Kinting with Athlon Sports. Kyle, please go ahead.
Yeah, Coach, being back on the sidelines after having missed last season, was there any sort of challenge or difficulty about making that transition after the year off?
No, I didn't. It wasn't a year off. I was off during the span of the season, but
sure. Yeah, sorry.
But no, Saturday was the beginning of my 25th season. So, and I've been back full time going after this since the beginning of January. So, remember, I had a 20-something year hiatus between my first time around as a coach and coming back the second time. In the beginning, when I was at Nebraska, I may have been on the rusty side, but that's not the case now. I'm certainly excited to be back, and I'm certainly honored to be part of our team and represent our university.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kyle. Our next questions come from Dan McDonald with The Advocate. Dan, please go ahead.
Morning, Coach. Question on how many true freshmen did y'all play in the opening game this weekend, and how will you use that new rule as far as the freshman eligibility with 4 games and they don't burn a red shirt going forward?
I don't know exactly, Alan. I don't know exactly how many we actually used, but it was probably 6 or 7. At least there were also many redshirt freshmen in there. I mean, the majority of our team is on the young side. With regard to the new rule as far as freshmen goes, we are at a significant deficit and will be all season. We only have 70 scholarships. So that's a 15 scholarship differential between us and everybody else that we're going to play. And after you've had a chance to fine-tune that over a couple of years, that there are 15 real players that we don't have with regards to depth across the board and with regards to our overall special teams. So this year, at least, we're not going to worry too much at all about the new redshirt rule, primarily because we're going to need to use our guys. We don't have enough players to wind up going around. As we get to the last 4 or 5 games of the season, we would or halfway through the season, we would take another good look at that to kind of, in effect, evaluate our status and what would make sense or be smart going forward. But right now, we're not concerned about it at all because of the deficit we have to make up with regard to scholarships.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan, and thank you, Coach. That's all the questions we have for you today. We do appreciate your time.
I appreciate it as well. Happy Labor Day, everybody.